Who's ready for session 3? Welcome back for session 3 of how we met. And last time we left off with basically how we not how, but when we reconnected through that email. And so today will probably be, or will be, our
finishing
our
the story
of how we met. There'll be other videos about sort of the continued journey, because it doesn't of course end there. There was the whole trying to get her here thing, so
we will finish the story about how we met and up to the wedding. It went to the wedding. So
after the email that she sent to me, and we
catching up email, just so you know, guys. It's a very short email, and just asking how him and Dawson are doing.
It was probably like seriously 3-4 sentences max. So then 2 months later, August 29th, 2016 to be specific, was when we became a couple. And
just like we pick up where we left off. Previous year, and like forgave each other, and we strongly believe that's kind of like God has put us there, wherever we have picked it up, where we left off. So we continued prayer, but we shifted our prayer, not basically leave off about praying for each other, like continue like what God's plan for us, but we added more of the prayer about, because we planned the same year, late 2016, to finally meet each other for the first time in person. So we started praying for God's provision, basically finances, for him to be able to go to the Philippines to see me, and time off, everything to work together, so we can basically go there.
And back then too, like things were really tight, because I had been laid off from my machinist job, which made a little bit more money than the job I have now, which is managing this chicken farm. And so that made things a little bit more tricky. So the prayer really shifted to, Lord, please give us the means in all aspects of, like, time off, finances, blah, blah, that we'd be able to do this. We clearly wanted us together, because everything just kept pulling us back together. So now it was, okay, well, that's what we're going to be praying for. And so I couldn't buy my first plane ticket because I didn't have any extra money to save. So it was like waiting for my income tax to be filed and calculated to see if I was going to be getting a refund, and I got a really good sized refund, and that allowed me to pay for the ticket. And so in May 2017 was the first time I went to go and see her in the Philippines.
That was like 3 days. No, what date were you there?
I believe I left the 19th. Until June 2nd.
It's kind of like I was 5 days. I just started working at DSWD and WD, and he arrived 5 days
after your first
after
day.
My first day. So it's really tricky, because you want to have a good impression with the company you're working for, but at the same time I want to entertain him. Like, I don't want to just leave him alone, and he would stay in his hotel the entire day without me being there because I need to go to work, and it's like really complicated, but we managed to make it work.
Yeah, because we had kind of these big grand plans about what we were gonna do,
Yeah.
and at the time, you were between jobs, or were you?
No, I was going to Bible school, and then
You were working at that hospital though.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was working at the hospital, and then I got a phone call which is a better opportunity or salary for that one. So I took the offer, but then, yeah, I had to really manage the schedule to be able to spend time with him because he also has a limited time to spend with me during the first visit.
Yeah, so I mustered up the courage once I had an idea of how the multi-cab system worked to get to her work.
Yeah.
I would go and ride the multi-cab from the
Hotel. Yeah.
hotel bed, whatever it was,
Yeah.
really small hotel, to where she worked, and then once her lunch hour was over, I'd go back to the hotel and then wait for her to be done work, and then that's when we try and cram in our whole day's worth of events in a few hours.
Yeah, he would come to have lunch with me, and then there's a small restaurant beside where I'm working, so we would eat lunch there, or sometimes we'd go to Robinson's, which is kind of like a right away from my work. And yeah, basically I feel like there's good thing about that, and but we managed to make it work. Things happen like really nicely. We were able to go vacation and see places, well, spend time, talk, whatever, which is very important. And yeah, and
So I had intended, long before I even went there, to propose to her on what would have been our 10-month anniversary, or 9-month, August to May. Someone else can figure out the math. 9-month, I think. But I didn't want to buy a ring here for a couple of reasons. One, I was afraid that I'd lose it or have it taken from me in travel. And the other thing is cost. You can't afford the jewelry here. And so on our 9-month or whatever anniversary, we met for lunch. I came to her work, and then we went to Robinson's, and while we were eating our lunch, which took forever to come to us, I think by the time we got it, it was like 1:45, and her lunch started at 12. She had to be back at 1, and we were eating, and I felt this thing just kind of fall into my lap from my tray, and I was like, oh, whatever, I'm not going to really... I wasn't in a hurry. I didn't think it was anything bad, and it turned out to be my little bowl of gravy. I was wearing a white shirt, and it was like all down the front of my pants. Like it looked like I had an accident, and it was a stained shirt. So then she's taking me through the mall. We're trying to find things that fit, but anyone who's seen most of my body, it's hard to find clothes my size there. And I think we found a shirt, and it took so long to find the shirt that the pants actually dried out, and you couldn't tell that there was even gravy there anymore. But the shirt, because it was white, it was stained. So we were like, okay, whatever, we're good with the shirt. She went back to work, and I went and found...
So late.
Yeah, so late. It was... Yeah. And yeah, this would have been like, now maybe you're 10 days into your job at this point, and went to the jewelry store, found a ring that was great, and so I bought it, and it took way less time than I thought it was going to. So I was sitting in the food court, sort of by the Jollibee, right near the main entrance of the mall, and on my phone using Wi-Fi or trying to. It was really bad.
Yeah, well, before you tell that day, like, you planned to propose that day, right?
Yeah, that day.
Yeah, I was mad at him, like, that day, because of these reasons. Like, suddenly when I was back at work, few moments later,
Few moments.
Yeah, an hour.
It was about an hour before you were supposed to be done work. I had walked around the mall a whole bunch, and I just couldn't. There was nothing to see anymore, so I finally went and sat down, and I was trying to kill that last.
So basically, 2 hours later,
Yeah.
He was texting me or messaging me because he managed to connect to the mall's Wi-Fi.
Mm-hmm.
He was messaging me about this very, very insistent girl.
Assertive,
Assertive
borderline
girl.
aggressive, who was...
Very aggressive girl.
Yeah.
That's what she did was aggressive.
She was sitting a few tables away, and I was staring at her because she looked quite odd.
Oh, that's why you were staring at her. So she think. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, probably. But, like, seriously though, it was like the tip of her nose was almost touching the top of her lip, and so it was... It's really harsh, but... I was just... It was so hard not to look, and so she caught me looking at her. So she comes over and starts talking. I was like, no, and I'm like, bare minimum answers, trying not to be rude because I'm not in my own country, and so I didn't want to be rude to like anybody there, and asked why I was there. I was like, oh, I'm here to see my girlfriend. My girlfriend and I have been doing all these things. My girlfriend's at work. I'm like using that word as much as I can to emphasize this is gonna go nowhere. And she's like, oh, just add me on Facebook, and I couldn't find her, and I was like, or she couldn't find me, I think. I don't know, whatever. She ended up taking my phone, finding herself, and adding her on my Facebook as a friend. And I'm like, oh, this is so bad. Like, we just go away, stop it. So finally she gave me my phone back, and then she said she had to leave to go and do something, and she'd be right back. And I'm like, I'm out of here. I'm going. I don't care if I'm sitting outside in the hot in front of her work for an hour waiting for her to be done work. I'm going now. Don't want her to come back. And
Yeah,
so I'm like
she was
messaging her saying,
this is what happening.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
and then she was really mad, and I felt like caught because of all the not wanting to be rude thing. So,
Well, I think you were afraid that it's kind of like a setup or something.
that
You
too.
want to be.
Because I was by myself, and
Yeah. And he doesn't speak Tagalog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if someone were to come along, or she was to talk to somebody else, even if it seemed like a totally innocent, like, oh, hi, whatever, a random meeting with a buddy, I would have no clue what they were saying. Yeah, I was really, really worried I'd get lured into something. And
yeah, so I was mad because, well, I like, you know, as a girl, part of you understands why things like why you're mad, but then at the same time, like, you understand. But I was mad with a girl, but in him, like, he's like, say no, like, be whatever, and no, I have a girlfriend here, I'm here, I'm visiting her, and whatever. I was like, as a girl, you were kind of expecting that from a guy, but then I also understand that he was afraid at the moment. But then at that point, I kind of like, no, you're supposed to blah 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 blah. So I was just irritated and mad and whatever. And that day, the same day, we went to visit my sister who was in the hospital. But when we got there, my friend, one of my close friends, Maureen's cousin, is also there, which unfortunately and sadly,
they were working on her when we walked in, and we didn't realize.
Yeah.
And she came across this friend in the hallway, and she's crying, and
And
so
she asked for, like, can you please pray? And so we prayed for her, but like few seconds after we prayed, her cousin died right there and then. So it's kind of like a heavy day. I came to visit my sister, and it was like really, like, it was like really, really heavy day. And then in between their bed, because there's a friend from the farm also that died the same day. So it's just like, oh my goodness, everything just happened. And so we left the hospital and went back to Santa Monica, which is where we're staying. That's where my boarding house is too, and was too. And we were in the Multica going back, and he said, are you hungry or something? Do you feel like you want to go for a walk or something?
Because I'm like, still wanting to propose.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is like I was like, I don't know if this is going to ever work anymore. This day has been shot to crap.
Yeah. So I was still mad and kind of like still, so it's all like things are piling up on top of each other. But then when I saw like Bamboo Bistro, I was like, yeah, I'm hungry because it was so late too, like almost 9.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'm hungry. So we went down from the multi-club and walked to the Bamboo, whatever.
Bamboo Bistro.
Yeah, bistro thing, restaurant, whatever. And we ate, and then I'm still like really quiet because I'm still a little bit irritated at the same time. He's not kind of like, so are you okay? And he, yeah, I'm fine. And then he stopped. He's just like, maybe, well, of course, he's still like trying to weigh things. We don't know each other that deeply yet, but yeah, I'm just being a woman. And then after a minute, he said, "Do you feel like walking?" And I was like, "Seriously? Oh my goodness, it's so late. I'm tired. Everything just happened today." And then I was like, "I want to go to Baker's Hill, which is like how far?
Probably close to a kilometer.
Yeah, kilometer. Walk.
Uphill.
Yeah, uphill. But there was a really really nice garden there, and everything is in there, bakery and whatever. But they closes at 9. And then I
think they close at 10.
Oh, 10, yeah. I was so tired, but I managed to just like suddenly like I feel bad, like I'm being a bitch. Sorry, yeah, but it's like, yeah, maybe I don't wanna like just end this night really crappy. So we went to Baker's Hill, and then the guard was like, "We're closing." It's like, "We're just gonna see a little bit and whatever," because we're already there. We walked through here and yeah.
Yes, and we went up on. They've got these platforms and really beautiful views. In the daytime, you can see the ocean from up there and all of Puerto Princesa, and but at night, then you can just see the lights and yeah, it's really quiet and low light, very romantic.
Yeah, well, there are 2 levels for that kind of overviewing deck there, but there's another couple on the other side, so we went to the lower one. Mm-hmm. It's still really beautiful. It's so up there, and you can see the entire lights of Puerto Princesa. And then that day is also our 10th.
This is where I can't remember.
Oh yeah, that was our anniversary.
9 or 10 months.
It's May 29th, which is 29th is our monthly date, anniversary, whatever. And so like we all like the regular thing during our anniversary when we're still like talking over the phone, we will message each other nice or whatever, look these long messages and whatever.
For when you wake up in the morning and stuff.
And so he started doing like saying things while we were up there and whatever, and I thought, and I didn't know what he was really proposing. I just thought that he was just doing those things not in a message but like in person. So it's kind of like, oh, whatever, and it's nice, it's so killing. And then after a speech, what did you do?
I got down on one knee and
I
took the ring out of my pocket and asked you if you would marry me.
Yeah. What did I say?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Is that how it is?
I can't do it quite.
Yeah.
But it was very like you were.
I said,
totally. There was no hesitation or anything. It was just like straight up, like yes. Put the ring on and we kissed and she hugged me and I always remember hearing you whisper, "Thank you, Lord." It's
Well, it was, when you're happy and there's nothing, like there's no inhibition, there's no fear or something. You're just like so grateful that like you don't imagine that those things can happen to you too. That women in fairy tale like that. So so moving forward because you.
So then basically from that moment on we began planning the wedding. Even when we were together there and only very minor details and sort of just like basic ideas, but and then again more prayer for for finances, because not only was there going to need to be travel, now there was travel plus wedding.
Yeah.
And I was going to be there for 3 weeks that time,
Yeah.
because we were going to need all that time, because unlike Canada, where you can just walk into any jewelry store and be like, I'd like a marriage license, please, and then you get it and you leave, you have to go through these premarital courses, and there's a waiting period before you can get
10
it.
days,
And, yeah,
10 days.
so
you have to wait 10 days, and then so there's a very tight schedule at that point.
yeah, and I needed to get a document from the embassy in
Yeah.
Manila.
Yeah, I met.
So-
Yeah. So basically, we became an official couple August 29 of 2016, and then we got engaged
May
May
29,
29 of 2017, and then we got married
May 29, 2018.
Yeah. So, yeah, we have finally came to. It's an answered prayer for us to be able to get married. Like, there are lots of things that we have gone through, but we are very sure that along the way God's really working within every step of the way. He was there. It's not just okay, well, then got married or whatever. There's lots of prayers and whatever. There are lots of tears and there are some doubts, but when you know that you're in a safe place and that you know that God is with you, you will always have the peace afterwards. There's always be temptations, or I don't know what to call it. Satan working.
Cold feet kind of thing. Things to try and undo what had been done, basically. We were aware of those things. And
so we got married at 2 in the afternoon, and his family was watching over.
We did a Facebook
live. Is that live?
We had an event thing set up, and then we did a live broadcast, which, thank the Lord, the Wi-Fi was kind of dodgy at best in most of that resort, but managed to get basically the entire thing captured from start to almost finish. So everyone back here saw the important stuff. They just didn't get to see the last 7 minutes or so, which I was like, that's great. That's incredible, really. So,
So it was a really, really one of the best days. And I think we're going to include in this video our wedding video that we hope you guys will enjoy. So that's it. I became Mrs. Milne 3 years later, after we said hi, and I think you're too far from me. Yeah. So I guess this is it.
Thanks for watching.
And I hope you enjoy your video.
Every day I've tried to imagine what this day would feel like, and here we are, standing in front of all these wonderful friends and family members, about to take a giant step together. I will always try to understand your point of view in times when we don't agree on something. I will not be stubborn, and hold my ground to save face. My vow to you is this. I vow to love you and cherish you each day, to put you before myself, to love you as Christ loved the church, to hug and kiss you when I wake up in the morning, when I come home from work, before we go to sleep, and at every other possible opportunity.
I I need to protect you from my selfish me. I need to protect you from the people who want to hurt you. I need to protect you sometimes from yourself and remind you that like me, you shouldn't be hard on yourself too. So, Lavi, I pray and hope that God will give me the grace to continue to fulfill what I promised. I love you so much and I always will.
Crazy as life goes, we'll write a story we tell to a very own. So let's live, lost in the moment, taking it all in as we go. You know I'm counting on you now.
God is the creator of mankind. Siya ang lumikha ng lalaki at babae. He created man and a woman.
Stay with me through the strange emotion. You and I will make it through. Yeah, let's go.
God said, "Let us make man in our image and likeness." So after God created the world, all things in the world, He created also man and a woman.
Crazy, we gotta let this feel.
To serve you means I must die to my own selfish nature and put your interest first before mine, but of course always next to God.
Stay with me, let it keep on coming. You and I need to hold on through as the world is in a constant motion. You stay with me through the strange emotion.
May I now present to you the full and complete man. But, let me now please go down.
I love you, Marnie. I'm so blessed to be yours, and I can't wait to walk with you side by side, hand in hand into our future together.